Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, I'm gonna double check, make sure I'm live. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I'm live. Cool. We'll get out of there. So, good morning. I want to show you a crystal. I got a crystal in the mail from Karina Del Pezzo. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at here's my hand. Look at this giant crystal. Can you guess what it is? I've already posted about it. Maybe you don't know. Look how big this is. It's like a cannonball. It is huge. And when I opened it up, I don't know if you can see that, but I see a heart. My husband's like, what? It's a blob. I'm like, you have no vision. So I love it. This is a charoite. I actually went on, for years, I haven't really been comfortable with the pronunciation of that crystal. It's a charoite. And it is I was holding it earlier today as I was doing some meditating. And as I was holding it in my lap because it's really heavy. And I felt my third eye just it was very, very good. It's a really awesome crystal, and I literally have it right now. I want to just get to know it a little bit. So that's that. And my daughter woke up this morning. She ain't feeling good, and I felt like yesterday, I was like, maybe you've got some seasonal allergies. It's been really hot. Things are starting to shift a little bit. And she didn't really believe me. And this morning she doesn't feel well. And so I pulled out my handy dandy AO mobile scan device. And I did a scan on her. And guess what came up? Allergies. So I am running some frequencies on my baby. So good morning. I'm not sure who has popped on. Say hello. I have an eyelash in my eye. Excuse me. Ouch. Ooh. Okay. So what are we going to do today? So last week I talked about I have an eyelash in my eye. Oh, hey. All right. That's not fun. I did a live about some of the physical causes that could be causing, contributing, and preventing you from healing your body completely. And there was nothing in that live. It's here somewhere. You can go search it out. There's nothing in that live that you don't already know, but sometimes knowing something and living it, embodying it, and doing it are two different things. In fact, that's often the case. Because a lot of times when I work with people, they're like, yeah, I know. And it's like, okay, well, if you know it, why aren't you doing it? Which brings me into this week's topic, which is some of the mental reasons that you might not be fully healing, okay? And again, these are not anything probably you don't know. You're gonna be like, I know that mindset stuff. But what I found after working with so many women, specifically around weight release, but you can do this with anything. So you can take this information and use it with anything. And before I continue, I forgot to say this. Take what resonates and leave the rest. If you don't agree, cool. If you agree, cool. This goes really well with what I'm talking about today, okay? Cool. So I just want to make sure, because sometimes we get all crazy. And I know that a lot of planets are funky-dunky right now, and a lot of energy and all that. So people are extra sensitive. So just take a breath, grab your cup of whatever. I've got keto coffee, actually. And let's go. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the mental things. Now, again, this is not be all end all, but what I have found, let me circle back. What I have found with working with the mind is that sometimes we don't even realize what beliefs and thoughts and inner dialogue we got going on. And it can be so interesting. I want you to put on your detective hat and get out your magnifying glass, because when you begin to work with your thoughts and beliefs, you will, if you're doing it from a non-judgmental place, we're not here to judge ourselves. We do enough of that. But when you're like, from a place of, that's interesting, I wonder where that belief came from, and start to unravel our beliefs a little bit, then you can choose whether or not you want to continue to believe it. I will give you an example. I'm going to come back to the example. Okay. Let's just talk about some of that. So I'm just going to lay them out for you, and then we'll go from there. So the mental stuff is what your thoughts are around healing, around living, around what it takes to heal, what it takes to release weight, what you can do, what you can't do, the beliefs. These are the things that you have picked up since early childhood, and from your ancestors, and from the collective consciousness, and from your neighbor, and from your parents, and from your friends, and from TikTok, and from YouTube and Facebook, all of those places. We are more so than ever, and I sound like a boomer, but more so than ever, we are inundated with other people's opinions all day long. If you're on social media, scrolling, all day long, okay? And don't take my word for it, but this is where I'm gonna give you an exercise at the end where you can begin to unravel your beliefs around healing. I find that some people in, say, like the spiritual community have a whole set of beliefs that maybe the religious community doesn't. We are essentially a big old bag of beliefs, okay? And what you believe, what you focus on, consciously or unconsciously, our beliefs are in, a lot of them are in the subconscious. What you focus your attention on is what you're going to be. It's going to be your experience. It's like the law of attraction. It's vibration, like vibration attracts like vibration. If you are afraid that the world is going to end, I promise you the universe is going to show you all the ways the world is going to hell in a handbasket, okay? If you are focused, if you believe that you have to eat a certain way, you have to do a certain thing, a certain exercise, take a certain treatment, medical, supplemental, this, that, the other, you got to get coffee enemas, you got to, get vitamin C intravenous injections, you got to get chemo, you got to take this, you got to take that. And you believe it in the core of your being, or you've just been told over and over and over by well-meaning people, and maybe not so well-meaning people, and maybe your medical people, okay? I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not a doctor. Don't diagnose, don't treat. So don't get on me about that. You do you, okay? I'm trying to help you, empower you to do you in the highest way possible. So the longer you've held a belief, this is why it's important to be really mindful of what you believe. The more you've held it, if you think of it, when I see beliefs in people, when I do one-on-one sessions and I can see them in my mind's eye, they look like blobs of energy, not always, but in general, blobs of energy, and they have these tentacles. And these tentacles are just, depending on how long that belief's been hanging out and depending on where, they are just wrapped around and holding on. And it takes a hot minute to figure out, understand, where did I get that belief? What was going on in my life at that time? Spoiler alert, it's usually from childhood around, in vitro, in the mama's belly, and not in vitro, in the mama's belly all the way to about 8 years old is where we have really formed a lot of our beliefs, because in that age bracket, we are essentially like little sponges. And of course, if we are, living with our parents or grandparents or family or whatever, they're adults. So we believe them because they love us. And of course, we're going to believe what they say, or we're going to believe our teachers, or we're going to believe all of the people, right? Because we are learning, we're soaking in. And, I'm not saying that your parents tried to screw you up, but they were just teaching what they learned. And what they learned, and they learned, and they learned, right? And I don't know if you've noticed, but science is always changing and shifting, as it should, right? As it should. And so as you get older, you begin to learn new things, new perspectives, new studies are done. Hopefully they're not, hopefully they're good studies, not very many of those out there. And we learn, and then we can decide whether or not we choose to believe, what perhaps our medical professional is teaching us, or our teachers are teaching us, or our, family and friends are teaching us. The beauty of nowadays, and almost, I don't want to say curse, but one of the things that's awesome about this day and age is that, for the most part, we are exposed to so many different opinions now. And that's where you have to be discerning. And I just talked about that. But there's so much information and people coming out of the woodworks and saying, well, hold on a minute, maybe that's not the best thing. Maybe this is better. And, it can become really confusing very quickly, but it's also liberating in some ways. It's like, oh, okay, so I've got choices. I can make a different choice. Who knew, right? So I like social media for that. Let me just see. Okay, so we talked about the mental stuff. Good morning, Karen, if that's you. I think it's you. Good morning. So really the mental stuff is the mind chatter. It's the beliefs and it's the thoughts. So your mind, your human mind, is very, very busy. So much so that a lot of times we are so up in our heads that we are not paying any attention to our body at all. And my husband is one of those people. I call him the absent-minded professor. I'm like, there's this awesome meme of a person sitting. Oh, is it? Oh, weird. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Okay. Thank you. I'm not sure. Maybe it's your internet. It seems to be okay. I'm not freezing on this end, but who knows? I don't know. It must be important. You just soak it in, Karen. Oh shoot, I forgot my train of thought. I was talking about, there's a meme and it's two people sitting sort of in meditation, and one of them, the person is really just breathing and focusing, and it says mindful. And then the other one is this big thought bubble, and it has all these thoughts going, and it says mindful. And I always say that to my husband because, he practically walks into walls because he's not paying attention, because he's so in his mind. And, that's where we call ourselves, like we have the monkey mind. And, I will tell you a really wonderful way. Good morning, Nancy. That's my neighbor. A wonderful way to start your day. And I know the people that don't like to do this, but I'm telling you, it is a game changer, is something called brain dumping. And that means you literally either open up a Word doc. I'm a faster typer than I am writer. Or you can write, get a piece of paper out and start writing. And you literally take all the cares, the worries, all the things, the good things, the things that you're annoyed about, anything, everything, and you get it out of your head. Okay? So if you're consciously dumping out all the junk in your head, and you're done when you find yourself either thinking or writing or typing, I don't know what else to say. Then you can go and start your day. Because here's the thing, when you have thoughts and feelings and emotions, and we're going to talk about emotions next week, but when you have all of that in your body and it doesn't have an outlet, some people exercise for an outlet, some people do deep breathing and meditation. I kind of do a little bit of all of it. A, because I get bored, and B, every single one of those things has benefit. And, you know, moving your body has so many physical benefits, but it also has emotional benefits. You know, brain dumping really can clear your mind for information to come in, for inspirations, for ideas, for new perspectives, okay? Sometimes when we are just, you know, that's what a Karen is, y'all. No offense to Karen, but that is what happens when you don't have any outlet. You start bossing everybody in your neighborhood around. Sorry, is that just my experience? It can be really great to start your day from a very centered place. And then you can go and you can journal and do other things. And we're not really going to talk about that right now. Let's get back to the mental stuff. So speaking specifically around healing, okay? And healing is multi-layered, okay? We don't just heal physically. We heal mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And some people will add energetic. I kind of lump energetic with spiritually. You need to, in my view, if you don't like it, keep scrolling. You really need to focus on all of those aspects of yourself, because you're not just a physical being. You've got a physical body, you've got a soul, you've got your thoughts, and you've got your feelings, and so much of our past experiences, specifically when we were young, can really alter our perception of the world. And when you are willing and ready to begin looking at that and really looking at your beliefs around things and questioning, come to this from a questioning curiosity place, not of a right or wrong, because what's right for you might not be right for me, and vice versa. And that's beautiful. I will never, unless we're working together one-on-one and I'm doing some channeled guidance for you, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. And even if I do give you, you know, really awesome channeled guidance, you know, from above, you still are you're an individual, and you can choose whether or not to believe me, whether or not to take my advice. You know, it's your choice. You have free will choice. So think of that when you are beginning to look at your beliefs around all things healing. So if you have something within your body right now that physically you are struggling with, you are looking to heal, I want you to think about it for a second. So I'm going to put some more frequencies on for my daughter. There we go. I want you to think about it for a second. Just think about it. Maybe you got a diagnosis, okay? Maybe you just don't have the energy that you want. Just think about it. Maybe you're trying to release weight or gain weight. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's your situation. I want you to think about what you think it is going to take you. Okay, well, first of all, do you believe that you can heal? Huge. I can't tell you how many times when I'm working with women around releasing weight, it sometimes can come down to, we can do all this beautiful healing work, but they still have the same stuff coming back, and it's not healing, it's not letting go, it's still holding on tight. And if we get in there and dig around, they kind of admit that they don't really believe that they can lose weight, release weight, slim down. So that's one of the first questions I ask now. Do you even believe it's possible? Because I promise you, if you do not believe that it's even possible for you to heal your body, you are swimming upstream like a salmon. A fly just landed on my phone. That's funny. You're going to make it way harder, okay? So that's going to be the first question I'm going to have you journal on in your diary, a dear diary. And you can say, you can write at the top, do I believe that I can heal XYZ, whatever you got going on? And if the answer is no, if the answer is I want to heal, other people can heal, but not me, you need to dig into that. Where is that coming from? Is that what your medical, person said, that you can't heal? Or is that what your friends, well-meaning friends and family, are they saying you can't heal? Are you hiding behind that, well, I'm older, so I guess this is it? That's a bunch of bullshit, unless you believe it. If you believe it, then it's not bullshit, it's your reality, okay? And it's gonna be harder to actually heal. And I'm not necessarily talking about symptoms, because the symptoms that we have in our body are what usually takes our mind out of our head and into our body. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I've had this headache for like a week. What's going on? And that's when we stop. We usually think about the people, they're go, and then they get the flu and they are down. And the reason, we get sick for different reasons. I'm not going into that really, but sometimes our body has been trying to get our attention. Hello, we're tired. We ignore it. Hello, headache. Take an Advil. Ignore it. Hello, get a cold. Ignore it. Keep going. And it gets louder and louder and louder. And then you are down for a week, or something else is going on, more serious. Now, again, we're not here to blame ourselves, to beat ourselves up. Lord knows we do that enough, okay? But awareness and getting in and really being mindful of where your thoughts are going, where your words are going, and what you believe is so important. It's so important. In fact, I'm gonna say I guess it's probably equally as important. I'm gonna say it's equally as important as looking at the emotions and the emotional traumas that we're holding. It's all important, y'all. It is. Okay, let's see. I'm just reading a little bit more. Let me see. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so, your thoughts and beliefs and stuck emotions and stuff like that. It's not that we want to get conscious. This is what we're trying to do. At least this is what I'm trying to explain, is we have our conscious mind up here, and then we have our subconscious. And our subconscious mind is literally running our show. That's where about 90 to 95% of your thoughts, you're operating from that in the subconscious. So you might not even realize how you're reacting, or how you're showing up, or your perspective, because we're not fully conscious of it. It's in our subconscious, and that was formed when we were really, really, really young. Now, you can also, if you're not spiritual, keep scrolling, but we can actually bring issues, lessons, karmic stuff from other lifetimes, other incarnations into this life in order to heal and grow. But that's not the point of this live, okay? So there are other things, but how we were raised, how we were taught, what we believed into, what we plugged into. I like to see beliefs as literally like a plug, and we're plugging into it. And guess what? We can also, here's my plug. You can unplug from it as well, okay? Let's see. And one thing I do want to mention is that our voice, so the words that we speak out loud, hold a vibration. And some words are words like hate, have a very dense, heavy vibration. Words like love, unconditional love, it's expansive, it's high vibrational. So pay attention, if you want, to the words that you're saying. If you go around all day long talking about how crappy you feel, that you don't feel good, that life sucks, that, you hate all the, like, I have to catch myself when I'm driving, because sometimes I get a little annoyed with the drivers on the road. And when I'm in a good place, and I don't, I'm working on these things and my beliefs and my thoughts, I am more mindful about what I think and what I say out loud to the drivers around me. So I want you to think about, are you complaining about your illness or ailment all day long? And I'm not saying, because we can keep it to ourselves, but still be thinking about it all day long. In fact, a lot of us, and a certain generation of people, we can go into that martyr aspect of ourselves. It's like, it's fine, I'm fine, that kind of thing. That still is going to affect you. But right now I'm just talking about words. So if you go around complaining about how you need to lose weight and can't eat this and can't eat that and I can't do this and that is energy. That is vibration. You're literally lowering your vibration, which is going to make everything harder. Okay. I like to say, work smarter, not harder. Actually, that was somebody that I used to do a workout video with. He says, work smarter, not harder. Okay, so I wanted to touch on that. Oh, well, let's see, what else do we want to do? Okay, so I have an exercise for you. So I'm gonna give you some exercises. You can do them or not, but they are going to be very interesting. Okay, so do your brain dump like I talked about. So just get everything out of your brain, and then I want you to get a piece of paper out, and I want you to write down that health condition, whatever you're doing, whatever you're working with, living with, fighting with, whatever it is, okay? Struggling with, battling with. People use all the terms, right? I'm battling this, I'm battling that. I'm not sure that's the kind of energy I want to bring to a health issue, but you do you. I want you to write it at the top of your paper, okay? And then I want you to kind of just free flow, brainstorm all the different reasons you feel like you have that ailment. So why do you think? We're thinking. So this is going to be really good because people love to think. The mind loves to figure things out. So why do you think you have that health condition? What is society telling you? Do you have it because you're getting older, and when you get older, you get this particular health issue? Or do you have that health issue because your mom had it and it runs in your family? Is that why you have it? Do you have it because you eat, frozen pizzas and ding dongs all day long? Why do you have it? And this is just your thoughts, okay? Those are your beliefs. Spoiler alert. It's what you believe. And then you can also write, once you're done with that, you can turn the paper over and say, in order to heal XYZ, I have to, and then begin listing all the things you have to do because of what you believe. So in order to heal, I have to be a vegan. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not true. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a story in a second. I have to meditate for 4 hours a day. I have to, whatever. I should. If you find yourself saying things like I should and I have to, those are beliefs. So do that exercise, and then what you can do is you can kind of sit with it. You can look at your thoughts and beliefs, and this might take you a couple of different, depending on what you're working with, like what your health issue is, this might take you a minute, right? Don't rush it. Just be in the moment with it. And you can do a couple of things. You can work with someone at home to help you process these things and get more information and move energy and bring in new energy and work on that. That's what I do. You can begin to be really mindful of the thoughts that come up, the feelings that come up, what comes up for you, where you find your mind going throughout the day. When I have a thought about myself that maybe isn't the kindest, on a good day, I'm going to catch it really quick and I'm going to say, nah, delete. Now, delete for me is a power word. It's a modality that I created where it's one word and it has a lot of high vibrational intention statements built in. It's like a big package of energy, and it's something that I download to someone. So I give it to someone, and then once they are kind of hardwired for that healing, all they have to do to activate it is actually say that word. So delete is one of my power words. It does a lot of cool things. Specifically, it disrupts that thought pattern. And then I used to do Taekwondo. I have a second-degree black belt. Yes, I'm awesome. And I like to do karate chops as well. But you don't have to have that power word to be able to disrupt those thoughts. But you have to be mindful. And it takes practice. And it can feel kind of exhausting. But once you become mindful of how often your brain goes to those not so nice thoughts about yourself, it can really be an eye-opener and like, whoa, man, okay, I'm kind of negative about my body or my health. I want to work on that. So I'm going to be really vigilant with how I'm thinking, what I'm saying, and I'm really going to look at my beliefs. And so the other thing you can do, and I'm going to wrap it up here. The other thing you can do is you can take that piece of paper, look at those beliefs. I'm not sure why I got so dark all of a sudden. I don't know. It's weird. You can look at those beliefs and, no idea. Super dark all of a sudden. Oh, is that better? Nope. Okay. Anyways, you can look at those beliefs and say to yourself, is this something I want to continue to believe? And if the answer is yes, keep on keeping on. If the answer is no, then that's where you need to dig in some more and kind of begin to understand where this belief came from, who it came from, and you can do some energy healing to help you process that. Some people can do that on their own. A lot of people that I'm friends with are already healers, so they know what to do. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but you might need help, especially if it's a health condition that you've had for a while. You've been dealing with it for a while. You might need some extra help, so you can reach out. One more thing that you can do, and I'm going to wrap it up, is you can begin to visualize, so closing your eyes in your mind's eye. Some people can do it with their eyes open. I can sometimes. It just depends. If I've got a lot on my mind, it's harder for me, but usually I'll do my brain dump, and then I will, with my eyes closed, I will visualize myself standing in front of me. Sometimes I will imagine that there's a big mirror in front of me or a movie screen, and I'm watching myself completely healed, healthy, whole, happy, energized. You don't need to do this for long, but I promise you it is really beneficial, and it's the one thing that people resist doing. So then you got to dig into, why am I resisting healing? And it's huge. What this does is it begins to reprogram your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is perceived. I will tell you before you poo-poo that idea is that sports teams have been doing this for a really long time. They imagine themselves, you know, shooting and making the hoop and getting the touchdown and all the things. This is powerful. So you can do that and begin. And really, if you're coming at it from all those different angles, your body is going to have no other choice but to shift. And then you're going to start feeling better and you're going to feel inspired and you're going to get motivated to keep going. I said I was going to tell you a story, and I'll tell you, I'll start to tell you just a little bit. A few years ago, if you would have asked me what it would take to release weight, I would have said to you, you need to eat the rainbow. You need to have lots of different vegetables, and they have to be all the colors, and you have to eat whole grains and, you know, limit your fatty meats and things like that. And if that is your diet and it works for you, keep on keeping on. But I have since learned over the years that that might not be the truth for a lot of people. And so I've had, especially this last year, I've had to really examine my beliefs around food and what it takes to be healthy. And I'm not going to tell you like right now, like because what works for me might not work for you. But I can tell you that in some regards, I have come full circle. And I don't like to demonize foods because I think it sets up this weird inner battle, you know, where we talk about cheat days and getting rewarded with, you know, this sweet or this cake or this sundae or this pizza or whatever. And I think that that's one of the reasons why people are so wackadoodle around food, because in their mind, if they're good, they can cheat and have this food over here that's essentially poison. I mean, essentially. And the problem is that we are so, it's like in this day and age, it's like we are so, I don't know, again, inundated with beliefs. And I'm going to say this, you can believe me or not, but the powers that be and the people that are teaching what you should be eating might not have your best interest at heart. And a lot of these teachings that trickle down into the schools and into, you know, the system, that are saying what a good diet is, they are funded by the people that make the food that they are actually advocating. So I don't know about you, but I think there might be a tiny conflict of interest there. You do your own. You do you. Unless I'm working with you one-on-one, I'm not going to tell you what to eat. But I'm saying, if you feel like crap and you're eating foods that might not be the highest vibrational food that you can possibly eat to nourish your body, to fuel your body, then you might want to take a look. Or not. It is one of the aspects that needs to be addressed. But for today, I want you to think about your thoughts. I want you to catch your thoughts. I want you to become mindful of how you think about health, your health, what it takes to heal. And I'd love to hear what you come up with. If you're really honest with yourself, it might be really eye-opening. So that is all for today. Next week, I'm going to be talking about some of the emotional things, the emotional reasons that you might not be, why you might not be truly healing. Okay? So I will see you, next week, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.